is our very last lesson of geometry. How do y'all feel about that?
Amazing.
Amazing? Okay, well, I like this lesson. This is one of my fave lessons because it's super beneficial, but it's not necessarily hard. You're going to use this a lot in pre-cal, algebra 2 with trig, so this is super useful, okay? I need you to put your headphones out of your ears, please. Thank you. Okay, on my desk. All right, so we are learning about the equation of a circle. So write this down. Ready? This is the equation of a circle. Do you know circles had equations? Okay, this is what it looks like. Oh, I'm so sorry. There we go. I don't know what happened. Do what?
Harrison said you made this up.
I wish I made that up, but I didn't. Okay, now that, I don't know what is happening, because this is, okay. Okay, so that looks complicated, but it's not. This HK that you see right here, that is always the center of your circle. So if you have a point that's in the center of your circle, that's where those points are going to go. And then what do you think R stands for? Radius. Okay, here's the one place where a lot of people get mixed up. Whatever this sign is, so look at number 1. No, that's a bad one. Example. Look at number 2. You have a center at 4, -1. So 4 is your H, -1 is your K. Whenever you plug these into the equation, if it's a positive 4 outside, then when you plug it in, it changes to a negative. If it's a negative outside, when you plug it in, it becomes positive. So if you have a center at 4, -1, and a diameter of 8, we can plug this into the equation. But we don't need the diameter, we need the what? Radius. Which means the radius is going to be 4. So if we're plugging this in, I don't know what's going on. Here we go. If we plug this in, your equation is going to look like this. You always start with what comes first. So the 4 is positive, so when we plug it in, it becomes, so x minus 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals radius squared. Well, what's the radius? What's 4 squared? That's your answer. So you just wrote the equation of a circle.
That's the answer?
That's the answer. That's it.
I bet this is going to get harder.
The only thing that's going to get harder is instead of writing the equation, you're going to have to tell me what's the center and what's the radius. Okay, so try number 3. Same thing. You start with x go ahead, plus 2, because it was a negative, right? Squared, because that's part of the equation, plus y minus 4 squared equals your radius. Harrison, give him his water bottle back. What's your radius?
6 divided by 2.
Not divided by 2, 6 squared, which is 36. That's it. Okay, let's go back to number 1 now. Because what does the center at the origin mean? It means 0, 0. So when this scenario happens and it's 0, 0, it would look like this. X minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared. Radius is 10, and 10 squared is, okay, so that's how you would technically write this equation. However, we want to clean it up a little bit. This is the only time where you're able to clean up this equation. Instead of just writing x minus 0, because minus 0 is doing nothing, right? Let's clean it up, and instead I want you to write it like this. That's your final answer. So anytime you have a 0, if it's with the x, it's just going to become x squared. If it's with the y, it's just going to become y squared. So if you look at number 4, there's a 0. So what's the first part of our equation going to look like?
Y squared.
Not y squared, x squared, because x comes first. So x squared, because it's a 0. And then from your equation, plus y is not a 0. So we have to put what? Y minus 3. Good. You have to change the sign. Now your diameter is 5. How'd you get 25? Because the radius is, so 5 squared is this going to be on your upcoming test? Yes. Divided by 2. Yep, because remember, in a circle, your diameter is the whole thing, and your radius is half. Okay? Okay, that's it. Now let's just work backwards. Can we work backwards? Look at this one. There's nothing beside the x. So your center, we're writing our center and our radius. The center is 0, what?
-4.
No, it was -4. When it comes out, it becomes positive. And then remember, it's equal to the radius squared. So to find your radius, you have to take the square root of 0, which is just 0. You have to take the square root of it to get your radius.
Oh, that's it?
So what's your center of this one?
No. 5.
Oh, this one's 0, 4. We're on to this one.
5.
6. And your radius is?
2.
Mm-hmm. Try 7. What'd you get, Lexi? Good. Harrison, what's the radius?
5.
Yep. Okay, so from that equation, we can graph it. So let's go back to number 5. The center is at 0, 4. Go put a dot at 0, 4. Has a radius of 0. This is a bad example to start with because there's not a circle. It's just a dot because there's no radius. Okay, so let's go to 6. Go put a dot at 5, 6. Okay, so that's your center of your circle. Now the radius is 2. So from the center, you're going to go over 2 in each direction. Sideways, up, the other sideways, and down. You just drew a circle on a graph by looking at an equation. Pretty cool. I told you this wasn't hard, right? Can you try to graph number 7? Yours looks something like that. That's the end of this lesson. That's it. Did it get harder than the first part? Okay, so if you flip to the back, your last homework assigned. Oh, wait, I forgot to take a moment of silence. We just finished our last lesson. Do you want to take a moment of silence or do you want to applaud? That just showed me your personalities and